Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. And today for our replay we have Dr. Richard Daystrom in the Tier 5 British SPG The Bishop, which is based on the Valentine hull with a 25-pounder gun on top. Now we'll call him Richard for the rest of the replay so it doesn't make it a mouthful. The Bishop has got a very short range, so it's going to be necessary for him to move a little forward, just so he's in range of some of the enemy tanks when they come to view. Right, we've seen the first enemy, and it's a Chaffee. He's making his way to the ramp, which leads up to a horseshoe. The horseshoe's on the plateau. The rest of his team are getting shots in. Richard's going to try a shot. It's fired. It's missed. Richard's got an unusual way of pulling away just after he fires, and of course this does alter the aim. Okay, there's another Chaffee that's sitting on top of the horseshoe at this moment, looking down. But I think they're going to pull away because Richard's team are just coming up onto the top of the horseshoe. And that Chaffee's seen him, just going to try. Pulls away, and the shot goes in, but the Chaffee's pulled out. So that was a miss. Right, the Chaffee, unfortunately, one of the Chaffees is down, but unfortunately they took out one of Richard's team just before it ended. Right, another enemy Chaffee is hiding behind a rock in the centre. The good thing about the Bishop, it's got a parabolic arc on the shells, and you can see that one did hit the rock, but the Bishop is capable of hitting enemy tanks that are hiding behind rocks. And that Chaffee has come out into the open. Should make it a little easier for Richard to hit him. No, he has been hit by Richard's team. He fires. The Chaffee moves out the way. Okay, he's going to adjust his position, see if he can get a better angle on that Chaffee. Oh, there's a T-67. It's just out of range at the moment, so we can't hit that. It's going back to the Chaffee. He can't see it. It's always a problem when a target goes out of sight and you can't see it. You have to sort of like guess where it's going to be. And sometimes it's possible to do that. Still no sign. One of Richard's team is nearby. It's one of his own Chaffies, but it's got such low health he doesn't want to poke his nose out just in case he gets shot. A tree went down near the centre. Ah, there's the T-67. Ah, Richard's been hit by the Chaffee. He's fired a quick shot at the T-67, but it was a very snap shot, so it wasn't very useful. So he took 106 hits from that Chaffee. Okay, now see if he can guess where that T-67's gone. He's going to have a look behind this bush, behind this tree, and he's going to take a speculative shot, I think. Yes. Oh, and he's killed him! He got the T-67. He was hiding behind the rock, but he managed to lay a shell down behind the rock and killed him, wiped him out. Okay, that Chaffee hasn't come back into view, so he may be elsewhere now. The Chaffee that was on Richard's team that was looking for him has now gone down. So obviously he's got nobody spotting in that area, so he's very unlikely to see if that enemy Chaffee moves up onto the horseshoe. Nobody's spotting. Oh dear, looking up to the north we can see that there are 3 enemy tanks surrounding one of Richard's team heavies, and that heavy's gone down. That means the north passage is now wide open, and he's only got a TD and a light tank covering that path, so he may have to change his attack. Ah, that Chaffee has gone right up onto the top of the horseshoe. and is shooting down on Richard's T1 Heavy. Let's see if we can get a good shot in. It's moving about a bit. The Bishop is good for this sort of work. And he's killed him! 223 hit. Wiped him out. Put the shell right onto the engine deck of that Chaffee and wiped him out. Okay, now the North Passage. The enemy are approaching. He fires. Oh, and he's got a good hit! The T50 has been hit and he's been wiped out. Okay, that leaves this M4. And he's going to try a shot. Oh, the M4's gone down as well. That's good. That means the enemy thrust from the north is now secure. Now, if Richard's going to attack some of those remaining enemy, he's going to have to move closer. The unfortunate thing about the Bishop is it's got such a slow speed. The Valentine tank on which it's based, the hull, is actually a walking tank. It was supposed to drive at the same speed as some troops that were walking alongside it. Unfortunately, this means that it can be very, very late to get to the action. It also means that the Bishop can be very vulnerable because it can't run away if the enemy breaks through the lines. But the hull is tremendously strong and it can withstand a lot of hits, especially if the enemy auto-aims at it, because they're going to hit the strong hull rather than the weak superstructure around the gun. Okay. The good thing about this particular map is that the Bishop can shoot between these gaps in the rocks and hit the enemy, even if they're hugging the rock. Oh, and he's taken out the M4! That's amazing! He tried a shot through the gap and it's wiped out the enemy M4. Now there's a Churchill in there somewhere. He's tried a shot, but no. The Churchill's not there. Okay, he's going to move a bit closer. Sometimes you can accompany the troops and shoot over these mountains, so you're not actually in sight of the enemy, but you're actually able to drop the shell down on top of the enemy who happens to be further along. That can be tremendously useful if you've got the heavy tanks attacking along this particular route, and they usually do. They appreciate the fire support, but it's not wise to go out a bit further south towards his left, because if you go further south you can actually be seen by the enemy and that could be fatal. Okay, that Churchill is actually in defilade at the moment, can't hit him. The red line indicates that the shell would hit the rock before it hit the tank. So there's no go on a shot at the moment. If he moves a little out into the open. Richard's still moving, that's why the reticule's bobbing about a bit. Okay, as soon as he stops, the reticule will settle down, and it has. He's tried a shot. It went in, so he definitely hit the Churchill. Okay, it's reloading. Probably try again. He has. And he's got the Churchill. That's excellent. Okay, that brings 4 kills up for Richard. The other enemy heavy, which is the Churchill, is actually sitting near the cap. In fact, near the spawn point. He may be AFK. And he's been spotted by the rest of the members of Richard's team. So hopefully they'll be able to dispose of him. There's also... Right, they have managed to kill him. That leaves only one remaining enemy, which is a 60 GT, one of these new Chinese tank destroyers. 60's GFT. He's going to try a shot. It wasn't aimed, but it was perfect. It hit the target and wiped them out. Perfect. Right, let's look at the scores to see how well he did. Okay, it was only a first class medal, so not enough for the ace tanker. He got a bruiser. He got the fighter for 4 kills. He got 5. Okay. We look down the list. He's second on the amount of damage, 977. He's top on kills, 5. And on XP, he's second with 734. He fired 16 shots, 6 direct hits, 6 penetrations. 2 splash damage, 977 damage. He received 1 hit, which was a penetration, and that was from the Chaffee. He damaged 6 enemy tanks and killed 5 of them. He has a premium account, so he earned 25,737 credits, and after deductions he takes away 21,101. And he earns XP of 1,101. And there's no boosters. So that's quite a productive game that was. So well done, Richard. If you like this game, please leave a like at the end and subscribe to our channel. Thanks very much.